In the name of Amen, the Supreme, the All-Powerful, the one and only true Lord, and Amen we trust as the Republic of Mentellect, the true 144,000 is being gathered in this day and time, the Mentallians. Benzeka Aminun to all of my Mentallian brothers and sisters out there, registered members of the Republic of Mentellect, and to all future Mentallians who have yet to find their way home to the Republic of Mentellect, which is Amen's covenant. I send greetings out to you, and I send peace out to you in our Mentallian language by saying to you, Benzeka Aminun. Good evening. I am your host, the intellectual leader, Menkari. This is Mentellect Radio, and tonight we're going to be discussing why the black race will never understand or become the bright ones. Now, what do I mean by the bright ones? I mean the true illuminated ones. Right now, currently, this title is held by the elites, the so-called Illuminati, the Zionist cabal that controls the society, the monetary system, the military system, and the complex and things of that nature, the laws and orders that set up here in the society. And at one point in time, our people, when they were in their right state of mind, had control of this world through the ancient societies, the ancient governments that were set up. And now, because of a disconnect, a future disconnect, a connect that would have casted them into the seat of power, they're now without it. And in this day and time where our people are being guided and geared, some of our people anyway, known as the elect, are being guided and geared toward becoming those bright ones, those ones of the illumination, the true illumination, which is sparked on by the soul, which is coming directly from Amen. Those people who are in alignment with that, those are the people who are going to be charged up, and they're going to go from black to bright. They're going to go from that state of deadness or that slave mentality to a ruling class mentality, a supreme mentality. Now, that's not going to be the mass majority of our so-called quote-unquote black people, because as I said in the barcode episode the other night, people have that stamped in their forehead, that barcode of slave, which is attached to black. It is stamped in their minds, right, as in, having that mark of the beast in your forehead. And that mark, and that programmed mark, and that barcode is slave for black people. And they have locked themselves into that two-dimensional state of possession as slaves, right, in the society. Slaves, perpetual slaves to everyone. Perpetual slaves to everyone and everything, and constantly being under control and being void of a ruling class mentality, a supreme mindset. Because I brought this out before, I said when they had our people, so-called black people, and I said our people, so-called black people, crying for equality, they were trying to reach up and put themselves in a position beneath other races of people, right? They were reaching up to put themselves in a lower place. If that makes sense to you, they were reaching up to put themselves on a lower place, in a lower state. And now that has taken hold in the minds of the people. I see it every day, in your everyday walk of life when you talk about ruling class mentality and our people, putting it, in the minds of our people that someday we were going to have to take hold of this society, take hold of this planet as the ruling class people on the planet. A lot of our people will look at us when we put that forward, as a future vision and as a future prophecy, and they look at us like we crazy, right? It's not that they don't even want it, it's that they cannot see it, they cannot envision it, and that's not real to them. What's real to them is constantly seeking equality and looking for a reach upward, to try and reach into a state of becoming people. Because I said before, black people are on the stage, a two-dimensional state of possession. So when they're asking for equality, they're asking to be considered people, part and parcel with the groups or the different groups of people who have come together, who have raised to a third-dimensional mindset, which is people, who have realized that there's strength in numbers and strength in power, something that black people don't. This is that they don't realize. This is why they try to join the populace of people, the general populace of people who come together in that three-dimensional mind frame. But ultimately, they will always become a part of that in a possessive mind state. Like, for example, when black people become Muslims, they always join in somebody else's religion. Islam is an Arab religion. They join somebody else's religion. They have no control or any hold over Islam because it has nothing to do with them. When black people become Christians or born Christians by default, they have no control over Christianity. They have no real stake in Christianity. This is why they have to follow the narratives of the Catholic Church, or if you're Muslim, you have to follow the narrative or the teaching of the so-called Arabs in Mecca, right, who push Islam, who sell the Qurans, who, push the prayer cloth and the, control the Hajj to Mecca, right, and every aspect of the culture of the religion. So black people have to join on to, or they feel they have to join on to other groups of people in order to matter, in order to make themselves seen or make themselves heard in society, rather than to depend upon each other as a collective body. And this is why they are barred from evolving into that bright race. Because, again, the bright race represents the illuminated ones. The true illuminated ones are the solar beings, those ones who carry soul or light energy or bright power that is coming directly from the sun. That is the illuminated ones, the bright ones, the true Illuminati. Not this false Illuminati, this spiritual Illuminati that is in control now, this watered-down version of what we were in the ancient world. I'm talking about the true Illuminati, the true illuminated ones, which we are supposed to be evolving into going forward. And again, that is for the elect, because the veil of illumination will come off. The veil of illumination will come off. The true veil of illumination will be pulled off, and it will be taken down. And a new people will be raised up out of the ashes. As we say, there's always going to be a group of people that's coming out of the ashes. What are the ashes? The ashes represent the black race as the burnt offering. The burnt offering unto the society that we as a people must make in order for us to be the ones coming out of the ashes. We have to be those ones who are rising out of the ashes as that phoenix. The saying of the phoenix coming out of the ashes. When they show you the phoenix coming out of the ashes, they always show you, because that's a metaphor or symbolism of a new people rising out of an old. When they show you the phoenix rising from its ashes, rising from its former mindset or that degenerate mindset, and out of that degenerate mindset comes a new and regenerated race of people, and that represents your bright ones. But it will not be everybody, because somebody has to make up the ashes. Somebody has to be part of the burnt offering, and that's going to be the mass majority of our people, because they either refuse able to see the bigger picture. They either refuse or they are unable to see the bigger picture, which is the evolution of where we are going. Because we can go no lower as a people. We can go no lower. We don't went the lowest to the low as black people. We went the lowest to the low. We went on our knees to everybody, and we fell from greatness. We fell from power. And now, like the phoenix out of the ashes, this is what will happen. This is not something that is orchestrated by myself, but it is preordained and predestined to happen as Amun's will. As Amun's will to reconnect the elect or reignite the elect in a continuation of mind, body, and soul power. This is the evolution that is taking place right now amongst our people, the elected chosen ones. And the majority of our people are not going to see it because their mind is sealed. Their mind is sealed or closed off around a certain concept or idea. And what is that concept and idea? Is that concept and idea of slavery, right? And that desire to be with other people, well, not us. That desire to be under and be part and parcel as slaves. Because, again, you have a lot of our so-called black people, so-called, who are happy in the position they are in as black people. They are happy with that. They are content with being slaves. Even though they don't think they're slaves, they are content with being slaves. They are content with their place at the bottom. So the reality of one day sitting on top is not a reality to them. The reality is real to the elect. The reality is real to the elect, to the chosen. It is a continuous and constant evolution that is taking place, because when you are in a state of evolution, all you can do is go forward. All you can do is go forward. All you can do is go forward continuously and constantly, mind, body, and soul. This is all you can do. You can't go backwards. You cannot devolve, because, again, but so-called black people, we can't go any lower than what we've been. We cannot devolve any lower than what we have evolved as black people. And you still got some, like I said, even at the bottom, they'll hold on to their place at the bottom to appease others. They will hold on to their place at the bottom to appease others. And in that holding on at the bottom to appease others, they stop their own evolution. They stop their own evolution in their tracks, because, again, to a lot of black people, this is as good as it gets. This is as good as it gets. It's not going to get any better than this in this society, in this kingdom of the beast. It's not going to get any better. They're happy with their jobs. They're satisfied. They're satisfied with being at the bottom, being controlled, not being in charge, not giving direction, not giving order, but taking order and being told what to do, what to follow, instead of us being the ones giving the orders, which is what it's supposed to be. Many of our people are satisfied. Many of our so-called, I'm going to start saying like that, our people. I got to get out of that. Many of the so-called black people are satisfied. They are satisfied. And when you got people, or a race of people who are being raised up, who are not satisfied, who are not content, who want more, who see themselves at the top and a ruling, or have a ruling class mentality, that seat at the bottom just no longer appeals to the masses, because, again, they tried to make that seat at the bottom appeal to us. The elites, the ones who are pushing the socialism, the Satanism, the Luciferianism, the communism, all this stuff that forces the people together and tries to erase the lines. When they were pushing this to us, they tried to get us to embrace this through people like Martin Luther King and all these other types of people. They tried to get us to embrace this, everybody together and we all are one and whatnot. And it wasn't a reality. It never was, nor was it ever really meant to be. You're going against the natural order of things that Amen set forward. Amen set a natural order forward. And many of our people, through manipulation, through programming, right, have been put on a path to go against the natural order. They've been put on a path to go against the natural order of themselves and kind. They were put on that path. And that is a road to nowhere. That is a road to nowhere. They are put on that path continuously to nowhere until eventually they fade from existence. This is why they're not going to evolve into the bright race. They're going to devolve into the blank race, or a system of peoples who are unrecognizable in the world. When you have no true identity, when you are unrecognizable, that says, resonate, that you do not count, that you do not matter. You have to always make your mark. You always have to resonate strongly in the minds and the persona as a personified being in the minds of others, just by what you do, just by who you are. Nuben Menkarayzz made his mark in the minds of many already at this short period in time. He's made his mark in the minds of many, even my followers. I made my mark, and I will continue to make my mark. I will continue to make a deep impression as an illuminated one, as a bright one. We must see ourselves as illuminated and bright ones, the true illumination, the true brightness, the true Illuminati. We must see ourselves that way, because you have a bunch of false people, those are the false light, perpetrating a fraud, sitting in our seats, but our people don't want the seats back, because with great power comes responsibility, even greater responsibility. And like it or not, these people who are in power who sit at the seats and the heads of power, your Rothschilds and all these other people, the ones who control the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, that control the flow of medication, the flow of food, the flow of all material possession, these people have a great responsibility. They have a great responsibility to the power that they have been yielded by the Most High, by Amen. And make no mistake about it, this power has been yielded to them. Why? Because our people were not in the right state of mind to receive that. They were not in that right state of mind to receive that power, to receive that procession. And because they were not in that right state of mind to receive that power and that procession, this is why our people have fallen. They have fallen from grace. They have fallen out of the stratosphere of pure power, pure illumination, and a constant extension. They have fallen out. Now is the day of reckoning. The day of reckoning and the continuation of. The day of reckoning and continuous power is where we are in this world, in this society, as we are raising mind, body, and soul. No longer people of the spirit, but people of the soul. Fire, the nail, the purity of Amen, the purity of Amen, continuation, the constant, the ever living and the ongoing. This is what we become. That continuation, that ultra body, that ultra continuation of constant power, continuation, mind, body, and soul. We have been raised in a mindset of higher intelligence. The fact that we can see this, when many of our people cannot, the fact that we can even speak on this shows that we are on the right path in the right direction as the elect. We are on that right path in the right direction as the elect. Because again, like I said before, this would have been unthinkable to even speak like this amongst black people at one point in time, to think like this, to think on this level, to think about a world without the beast, without mankind, without rulership, without asking for and desiring equality. That would have been unthinkable. Now it is no longer unthinkable with the advent and the rise of intellect, which is taking the chosen ones of our people's minds in a new direction, or should I say in the next direction, a direction that is not seeking equality, which is an illusion, a direction that is seeking pure supremacy, pure power, pure intelligence directly from Amen, answering only indirectly to Amen, the highest order. This is what we are. This is what we've come to. This is what we've become. Stage of this greater evolution. This is who we are. This is what we've come to in this stage of greater evolution. We have become this. We are becoming this. We are in a constant continuation of becoming this. And we must make sure that our efforts are strengthened continuously by finding the elect. We must strengthen the body, because we're going to need all the bodies we can get, all the minds we can get, all the souls we can get that are part of this evolution, that are part of this illumination. We're going to need full cooperation. This is the only way Amen is going to put us in power. This is the only way Amen is going to put us in power, beyond just monitoring commerce and trade and, nations and laws and things like that. I'm talking about an even greater power, because we've been without that power. We've been without it for a very long time. So a blast of power directly from Amen, this shot directly from Amen, is coming. And it has been coming through intellect, and is getting stronger amongst the elect. It is getting stronger amongst the elect every day now. And again, for those of our people who have not received this message in a constant and continuous flow, those who've had gaps in the message, those who have faded out of the message, all I can say to you is you faded to the bottom and you faded to black. And you will soon fade to blank. We, as that continuation, must realize that we have a greater responsibility as the bright race. I was having a conversation with one of the brothers about the state of a lot of these black organizations who have now become part and parcel with the society. When you hear about marching and voting and things like that becoming a part of this society and the social construct of the society, this is a sign that these organizations are on their way out. This is a sign that these organizations have sold out. This is a sign that these organizations are not of Amen. When you start hearing people marching, as in, like Martin Luther King did with the March on Washington, because march equals protest, right? Or when you see the Million Man March that Minister Farrakhan did, he didn't say the Million Man Gathering. He said march for a reason, because march represents protest, right? It represents protest, and protest test of what these elites and their armies or their policing systems will do if a large group of people gather in a certain area, because again, that was meant to be a protest for the law enforcement in Washington, D.C. when the Million Man March took place. And whether Minister Farrakhan and Nation knew, I would dare to say yes. But again, that's what people allow these things to happen for. They allow them to happen just for this. They allow this to happen extremely and socially for this. This is a social construct that's being gathered in. This is a social construct. This is a social construct that is being laid down. A new social construct of control, of continuous control. That social construct is being laid out continuously within the minds of the people. That social construct is being placed out. And again, when you see people partaking in that, when you see our people partaking in that, that's a sign that these societies have given up, or they have never had a real connection to the Creator, nor do they have a future vision or a continuous vision that is not laid out by the beast. These people carry the mark of the beast on them. Protests, marches, politics, like the Moors. They got this thing now where they're trying to get people to vote. Before, the Moors would not, they tried to be like active, but they were independent. Now they have entered the area of politics. Right? Marches, politics, protests, all this stuff is all meant to be things and, ways of the beast. They're meant to be constant and continuous. Right? Things are man. Things are mankind. Constant, continuous. And again, our people have got caught up in this. They have got caught up in this. They have got caught up with this madness, this illusion. It's constant. It's inconsistent. They have got caught up with this. A lot of our people have become part and parcel with it. And we must realize who has become part and parcel with it, and we must separate ourselves. And the mass majority of so-called black people have given themselves over to the beast by voting, by trying to become part of the social construct, by protesting, by marching. Because again, when you march, when you protest, when you vote, you have married yourself on to the false ideologies of equality that the beast is laying forward. You have married yourself onto it. And when you marry yourself onto the false ideologies of hope that the beast offers, you sever your connection with Amen. You sever your connection with Amen. And again, this is why the black race will not become or evolve into the bright race, because that connection can only come by way of Amen. That connection can only come by way of Amen. It cannot come by way of man. It cannot come by way of the beast. He will not deliver our people. He will not be the salvation of our people. But you can't tell our so-called people, black people, that, which is why it's useless. I don't stop talking to the mass majority of our so-called black people because they have made their mind up that they have given themselves over to the beast, and that the beast and following the ways of the beast is the way in which they must continue forward, that they have given themselves over to the beast. They've handed themselves over to mankind. They have made themselves vessels of his spiritual and demonic energy. So you can do nothing for these people. They call it working within the system. Right? Again, this is why our people caution to be in this world but not of this world. In this world but not of this world. What did that mean? That means that we're not supposed to partake in the things of this world. The false ideology, the false gods, the mindset of these things. Like I said, we're not supposed to partake in it because we're supposed to be the seeds and projection of Amen. And that is a constant and continuous world, but our people are not going to acknowledge that. This is only for the elect. This is only for the elect. We're not supposed to partake in anything that goes on here. We're not. We're supposed to choose Amen over everything. And like I said, our people had that time of following the beast, following mankind, and that time is no more. That time is no more. Our people had that time of following the beast and following mankind. That time is no more. Right? Because again, even when you follow him, there will come a time where he will fall and he will use you to fall on. He will use you as his cushion. He will use you as his cushion. He will destroy many of you to cushion his fall, meaning his death. When he uses the so-called black woman to mix his seed with, he's using the black woman to cushion his fall from grace out of his seat. And he will try to raise up through his mixed race children, the mulattoes. He's using you. Right? He's using you to stop his fall. Right? And he will use you to stop our rise. He will use you to stop his fall, and he will use you to stop our rise. That rise is the bright race. This is why, like I said, it's no coincidence that when black people hear me doing this, they either get mad about it, they have no thoughts about it, or, like I said, they can't see what it is that we're doing because in their mind it's not real. In their mind it's not real. But as we stand here today, mental like is very real. Mental like is in the world. Mental like is raising the elect. It is very real. Because again, in this day and time, a community is coming up. In this day and time, a community is coming up. Day and time, a community is being raised. Mind, body, and soul in this day and time. We're in that day and time of community. Where we having the conversation for real, and real people are coming together, not based on the mindset of the philosophies or the ways of thinking of mankind. We are looking to Amen. We are looking to the future. We are looking to the continuation. We are looking to the constant. This is what we're looking to. We're not looking at anything else. And it's not meant for us to look to anything else. It's not meant for us to look to anything else or anybody else but us. Look to us for the future. To ourselves, mind, body, and soul as the future. This is what we are instructed to do as those projections of Amen. As those truly illuminated ones, as the bright ones. This is what we are instructed to do. We must continue on in this illumination as the bright ones. But understand that you will have obstacles. For the obstacles are mankind. The obstacles are mankind. Mankind comes in all shades, persuasions. Mankind comes in all shades now. Black, white, yellow, red, whatever you want. stop the brightness. They will appear as the false light. They will appear as your family. They will appear as your friends. All right? And the beast will use them to stop this evolution, to stop the raising of the true illumination or the true Illuminati, the true illuminated ones, the true bright ones, the solar ones. Right? They will try and work to stop that, the continuation of that, to stop the raising of that, the rise. Many of these people in these old doctrines, these old philosophies, their new job will be to work for the beast, to work against our evolution. Watch. Their new job will be to work against the evolution of our people. That will be their new job. That will be their new venture with the beast, to work against the evolution. How is that? By pushing these unreal concepts of the beast, protesting, being woke, black consciousness, Pan-Africanism, to push out these things again, to jumpstart these things, which is why the so-called white man restarted these movements, these organizations and things like that, to slow down our evolution. And a lot of these so-called blacks will work with him. They will help him. They will help him. They will push these unreal messages. They will push these unreal messages. They will push these unreal concepts. They will push these two-dimensional messages. And this desire that they try to build in us for equality. They will try to snuff out the brightness and the illumination of those who are coming into this order, into this power, into this greater light, into this brightness, this pure brightness, this pure illumination. What is the pure illumination? The pure illumination is the continuous and constant future in which we are starting to see. As Mentalians, we're starting to see a world without barriers, without limitations. As bright ones, the bright races, the bright ones, we're starting to see a world without barriers, with no limitations. And this is not what the beast wants. You as black people are supposed to have barriers, bars, and limitations for how great you become, how much you think of yourself, how you look into the future. You're supposed to have bars and barriers as black people because it was put there early in you. It was put there early in you as an obstacle to cut you off. It was put there early to cut you off. That obstacle and that optical illusion. That obstacle and optical illusion. Right? One visible and one physical. One visible and one physical. But it's an illusion. It is an illusion that can be maneuvered through by way of Amen. As the illuminated ones, as the bright ones, it can be maneuvered through. And this is what they do not want you to see. I'm not just talking about the elites. I'm talking about your so-called black people who are in that bar or that law or unlawful mindset. That mindset of equality. That mindset of chaos and confusion. Who want nothing but chaos and confusion in their lives and in yours. If you are associated with them, they want nothing but chaos and confusion. You must realize that. You must realize that. You must have an understanding of that. If you are to go forward, if you are to continue, if you are to raise yourself, mind, body, and soul. If you are to raise yourself, mind, body, and soul, you must have an understanding of that collectively. We must continue to walk this path of illumination as the Mentalians, as that bright race, as those projections of Amen. We must continue to walk in that path. And this is a path that the so-called black people or black ones will not be strong and losing family members and losing friends or losing people that were close to you. You know, you must be prepared to lose them on the path. You must be prepared. You must be prepared to lose them on the path, if need be, if it is dictated by Amen. Because part of this awakening, part of this great illumination, this extension of mind, body, and soul, and this mental capabilities that's coming to us, part of that is sacrifice, as I told you before. Sacrifice. We must sacrifice. Part of it is sacrifice. We must sacrifice. If we are not going to sacrifice, if we are not willing to sacrifice in order to receive power, then you are not fit for power. You are not fit for change. You are not fit for the evolution. If you are not willing to sacrifice, become those illuminated ones, those brighter ones, to get greater and brighter vision. What does it say in the Bible that the Lord's vision is 10,000 times brighter than the sun? Why did they use that in the Bible, that the Lord, meaning Amen, Amen's vision is 10,000 times brighter than the sun, meaning that it is constantly and continuously futuristic, seeing beyond and above things that would be considered, limited even to us. But as we are growing into this state and becoming this greater people, this personification, going into this stage of power, it will not be limited to us. There will be no limitations. We will start to see things through the eyes of Amen, and our vision will become 10,000 times brighter than the sun, meaning that our vision will be extended, projected, going out of dimensional, going into different time frames, going into higher extended states, going into greater mental capabilities, receiving this power directly from Amen on earth. Our vision will become continual, extended, if we stay together. There is no separation. If we stay together, there is no individuality. If we stay together, we must walk together as the elect. This is the command of Amen. There is no individuality. There is none in the fourth dimension. There is no individuality. There's only a collective body, a collective mind, and a collective soul. Pure fire, the pure light, the brightness, the illumination, the foresight, the things that are void in the minds of black people. The things that are void in the minds of black people who are only concerned with going to their jobs, coming home, spending money, getting high, getting drunk, right? Going to a club, doing whatever they do, playing video games, all the foolishness that the beast puts out for them. Because, again, the reason he does this is to slow down your evolution. The reason he does all these things is to slow down your evolution, to slow down the mind, body, and soul evolution, who you are meant to become, who you are meant to be. This is why he does it. This is why he will continue to do it. This is why he will continue to work against your evolution, because he knows that the true illumination belongs to you. He knows that the true illumination belongs to us, the elect. He knows that. And this is why he's scrambling to put his children in place through the so-called black woman and the other nations. He's scrambling to put his children, his mulatto children, his blank children in place of us. He's scrambling right now because he knows that the elect will be raised. He knows that the elect will be risen. And he knows that the elect will be lined up. Like I told you, what Gay Ed Hoover said, we have to watch the next so-called black leader who raise up to electrify the minds of the people. That was code word for the Messiah or the messenger of Amen. Raising the elect, that was the code word. Because once that Illuminati, that illuminated race of beings are raised up, then everything will fall down and be re-raised again in the name of Amen. And this is not something that they want. Just look at what Amen has given to them based on their little bit of illumination, their little bit of light, because through this illumination, through this light, through this telepathic transmission, the beast got all of his technology from Amen. The beast got all of his government and governing system from Amen. The beast got all of these things from Amen just off of the little bit of transmission, off a little bit of the brightness that they receive from Amen. So imagine what we would do to get Imagine what we are going to get, what we do to receive after all this time once we bring our minds into alignment, mind, body, and soul. Imagine the power that is waiting for us to inherit and to harness. It's like anything when you have those beings who are, or those, a machine, whatever, that has not been turned on for a while, and then you turn it on, it's going to take a long time to get up to speed. And that's going to be us because, again, this is a continuous and constant thing because we've been off for so long. So whenever I hear these, are we there yet, Negroes that come around, when we going to get this, when we going to do this, you got to remember our people have been off mentally for thousands of years. Our people have been mentally for thousands of years. We have been out of power for thousands of years. So that means we've been off. We have not been on. So we have to come back on gradually. It ain't no, are we there yet? Pop, we there. That don't work like that. It don't work like that. The people who think like that, those are the black people. The black people will give themselves away. The black people think like they try to jump ahead of the development and the evolution. They try to jump ahead of the path. They try to jump to higher states without realizing there's no jumping as an individual. They try to do these things. And they only fool themselves. They try to make these jumps. And you cannot jump over the development of who we are to become. See, the ones who are part of the development, they're walking the path slowly. They're walking the path slowly and constantly and continuously. They're walking and they're taking the journey. And this is true life. The journey is true life because the journey represents an evolution, a growth, something that we have not been doing as so-called black people. Again, which is why the black and so-called black people want to continue in this fashion. They don't want to grow into this. They don't even understand what this is. They don't understand what the bright or the illuminated power is. They don't understand what that is. Nor are they trying to understand it. They're satisfied. And Amen didn't make us to be satisfied. Amen made us to be constantly dissatisfied and constantly altering ourselves. That's what the true projections are here to do. We are supposed to be constantly altering ourselves, extending ourselves, and projecting ourselves, going forward out of dimension. That's what we're supposed to be doing, constantly being a harnessing vessel for Amen's power. This is what we're supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be here getting comfortable with mankind, seeking equality with mankind. That's not what we're here to do. But you can't tell a lot of these people that. You can't tell the so-called black race that. That's why I don't speak to them. I've given up. I don't talk to them because they've already made up their minds to be slaves at the bottom, a.k.a. black people. The foundation, the dirt, to which all people stand on. All races of people who are in the third dimension, ahead of the so-called black race, they stand on the so-called black race. That tribal mentality. They build their foundations on top of you. That's what this is, and this is what you're seeing. Their foundation is built on top of you, and they will continue to build on top of you. They will continue to build on top of you. They will continue to exclude you. They will continue to keep you wanting and seeking equality. They will continue to keep you sitting around doing nothing. Right? They will continue to allow you to do this and to think that you are doing something in return. They will let you sit around and they will watch your downfall. As they are watching right now, was them to alter a few circumstances, to bring about a few circumstances, and watch so-called black people fall into them. Mind, body, and soul. Watching you fall into it constantly and continuously. And again, it's not worth even putting energy into attempting to raise these people, raise ourselves. We have to raise Amen. We have to raise and be a part and parcel of the continuation. Again, a lot of our people are not going to get this. That's fine. They're not meant to. They're not meant to. We are meant to move forward by the direction of Amen as the Illuminati, as the bright ones, as the true illumination. The Illuminati. The Illuminati. The Illuminati. We are meant to move forward in the illumination and the continuous brightness of Amen, by Amen's direction, by Amen's power, by Amen's select vision for the elect. This is what we're meant to do. I want you to hear me. Hear me. Hear me and listen. This is our time, and our time is next. Not now, not then, but next. I'm going to be at the Bed-Stuy Restoration Plaza on Sunday, 1368 Fulton Street, Brooklyn, New York. I'm going to be doing the Republican Mental Superman, Superwoman project. Come on out. It's free. You know, we're going to be on the first floor. And like I said, you know, we'll have a good time. I'm answering questions. You know, it's our monthly class here in New York City. So come on out. It's free to all that want to come out. The bright ones of our people who, you know, who are seeking this true enlightenment. Because, again, this is what this is about. I'm going to say this again. It's about community. It's about community. But to those in darkness, they think that this is about just gathering and speaking and hearing speeches and whatnot. And they'll say things like, oh, you know, Nuben, you don't speak about economic empowerment. You don't speak about economic empowerment. Why don't you speak about that, brother? We need some more money. Why don't you speak about economic empowerment? And I said, they already got that. You just use it to empower the white man. You already got economic empowerment, and you've chosen to use that economic empowerment to empower these other races, the white man, the Asian, all that, because whenever these people can send their children to school off of your money that you spend in their Chinese restaurants, that you spend in their hotel, wherever the hell you go and wherever you utilize it, all the money you spend for other races of people, and you do it proudly, you do have economic empowerment. You do have that. You have economic empowerment. Like I said, you just choose to empower other people with it. And black people will sit up here, and this is what they really want the money for, because, like I said, you get to the heart of things, and you tell black people, okay, well, if we all come together, we can all get this money and this, that, and the third, and it's about money, and we, you know, about winning and getting money and things like that. And they only want this to empower other people. Black people, so-called black people, are the power boosters and the conductors for other races of people. This is why they love to come into your so-called neighborhood and set up shop and make money, because they know that your people, or that so-called black people, empower them economically. Right? So, again, that goes out the window with the economic empowerment. Your empowerment or your power is used to empower other people. And that's what happens when you are in darkness, because you don't know what your true power is. You don't know what your true power is, where your true power source lies at, because you're not a people with a ruling class mentality, nor do you want to really see yourself in rulership. You don't really want to see that. This is why, you know, the very simplest things to do toward that path of power, black people try to skate around it. They'll say all kinds of, you know, when they say all kinds of ridiculous things like destroying or killing the white man, or, you know, like the angels coming back and killing the white man. Also, they say all kinds of over the top and off the wall things that they know realistically won't happen. Right? They'll say all these type of, you know, out of the ordinary, extraordinary things just to get away from the fact of doing the ordinary thing, which is to order amongst your community, become one community, raise your children, raise your family. They see that to them is not a reality. That the things that they can do, the things they can do takes responsibility, and they don't want that. You understand? The things that take responsibility, that take take some sort of gumption on their part. They don't want to do that. But what they will do is talk crazy about killing the white man and destroying this and digging this, and the whole system got to come down and this, that, and the third, because, again, that represents the ultimate fantasy. And I say that again, the ultimate fantasy. That represents the ultimate fantasy, because these people don't want to deal with reality. They rather keep you focused on fantasy instead of being able to do real things, and real things come by way of the Most High. Real things, real solutions come by way of the Most High, and by the way of us developing ourselves by the order of the Most High, Amen, the Lord. All right? Developing ourselves by way of intellect, developing ourselves as a collective body, a community, putting away our individuality and our egos, becoming one mind, one body, and one soul of people. These are the things that are going to get us into that state, that power seat, under that state of power. Not sitting around here waiting for the downfall of the white man, sitting around talking about angels coming back to blow up the planet and kill off the white people and put them in slavery and all this, movie cinematic nonsense. Right? You got grown men talking like this. So again, we must be mindful, fall into this trap of emotion, which is another reason why the light has been blocked, This illumination has been blocked from the so-called black man and black woman. Emotion. The fear, the anger, the pain, the jealousy, all of these things affect the evolution of the so-called black man and black woman into becoming a bright man and a bright woman. All these things affect them. All these things affect your evolution, or affect the evolution of the so-called black race into becoming the bright one, cuts away their development. Right? They can't see past their emotion. This is why they want to always put emphasis on Caucasian people. Either they want to destroy the white man and be loved by the white man. Either they want to hate the white man and be loved by him. They either want to hate him and be loved by him, or they seek equality. Again, this is the thing that keeps them stagnant in their motion, in their movement. This is what it does. Again, this is all based in emotion. All of it. I'm going to take a call. 718. 718, you're on there.
Floyd.
How you doing,
bro? 11 o'clock. Wake up.
Say again now? Hello?
Hi, yes. Greetings. Good evening. Hi. Hello?
Yes, I hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. This is... I'm a little bit upset and I'm a little bit disturbed right now, but it doesn't really matter because you are saying everything. I want to ask you this question: Why can't they come together? Like, you have Phil Valentine, Pharaoh, all these guys. I know all of them. What is the problem with it? Why can't they just, everybody just come together at the table and sit down and just work it out so that we can have a better understanding? Because Dr. York came, he gave us everything. What is it, something in the DNA of men that they just can't listen to other men?
No, it's in the DNA of males. Who you just described were males. Those are not men. What you're talking about is males. Men, real men and real women can come together under one banner, under one accord for the survival and the betterment and the evolution of our people. Males cannot do that, and females cannot do that because they're driven by ego. They're driven by all kinds of, in all states of emotion. This is why they can't do that. They're driven by emotion. The men and women are driven by logic. Males and females are driven by emotion.
But I did study with Phil Valentine for many years, and it helped me a lot, and he did help a lot of people, and he wasn't driven by emotion.
He helped them do what?
Huh?
He helped you do what?
Well, he was into nutrition, so I was able to truly know a lot about how to heal my body. We did many 21-day juice fast and cleanse and heal, and, I learned on that level, but with mental,
you could hear that from anybody. You could have heard that from Dr. Sadie. You could have heard that from this lady, Queen of Four. You can hear that from all these type of people that's doing that. That's nothing special.
No, Queen of Four was his wife. Okay, so you see how you said that we had to have psychometry? That if we were together, if all of us could really be together, like what Mentellect has for us. You said we have psychometry, intuition, clairvoyance. We would have all of these innate powers when we are together. How is that going to help us in a society where, you still have these other people that are ruling? Well, you said that at some point that the Republic of Mentellect, will that be a ruling force even if it's 50 years from now?
Yes, it will be. That's the reality, because we are in the right mindset. We are coming into connection with Amen collectively as the Mentellect. We're not trying to do this as individuals. So we are in alignment as the elect by way of Mentellect to come into alignment and to go forward, by the power of Amen. So, again, without that brighter vision, without that extended vision, there is no evolution. And a lot of these people, like you just mentioned, like your Phil Valentines, your Bobby Hemmett, your Young Pharaoh, a lot of these guys are not dealing with the Most High. They're not dealing with the Lord. They're not dealing with Amen. They dealing with the ancestors. They're dealing with people, place, and possession. They're dealing with all kind of nonsense and whatnot that's not going to help our people. That's why, again, they all dealing with their own trick bag of individuality, which is why they'll never come together, because they're raised on nothing but chaos and confusion. You tell these niggas right now, look, we got to come together as a people. And they'll speak against that. They'll be the very ones who speak against our people coming together under one banner, under one thing and whatnot. They're not trying to hear that, because then that means that the shine will be taken off of them as individuals.
But when you speak about the ancestors and you call it nonsense, what ancestors are you talking about? Like when we talk about our grandmothers and the people in our family, aren't they our ancestors?
Yeah, they are, but they're not important. What? They're not important. They're not important. What's important is the continuation. Like I said, they'll come forward again. The ascension, the continual movement is important. Anything or anybody, people, place, or possession that forces us to look backwards at past customs, traditions, and things like that, that is a detriment to our evolution and an obstacle that must be removed. So all that ancestral talk that these guys was talking about, any of these other African Shango people, whatever they talking about, it's all a bunch of foolishness and nonsense.
Why do you have to call? Okay, so couldn't you say it like this? If it did work in the past, it worked in the past. And it wasn't foolishness in the past. It was for that time.
It was foolishness back then. No, I'm not going to say it how you want me to say it. I'm going to say it as it is. It was foolishness. It was foolishness now. It was foolishness then, because the people back then were living for the future. They were not sitting around talking about what was going on in the past. And the ones who got caught up in the past, you see where we at today. We under the so-called white man, because y'all keep wanting to look backwards, man. They keep talking about the ancestors. You don't see the white man talking about the ancestors. The white man going into space and doing all this other stuff. Why? Because he's dealing with Amen, man. Amen deals with the future going forward, and Amen's not looking back. All that looking back, we already know about the past. We're not looking back. If that's what them people want to do, if that's what them people want to do, or you want to do, that more power to you.
No, I don't want to do it. No, not me. Don't say me.
Okay, but you keep talking about.
I'm trying to get overstanding. Don't put me in that. No. I'm trying to get overstanding. So let me just ask one more thing. That Amen beings, when we said I'm on the page. Okay, I'm with this. I'm just trying to get clear. It's years and years of the spell. So we're going to come out of the spell. When you say the Amen beings as a race, please don't get mad at me. Like, they are within our DNA? We can't say, well, like, where are they right now? inside of us, right?
It's that extended genetic material that we're coming into. Some of the elect. Some of the people don't have that genetic material. Only the projections are becoming almond. So the transformation and the transaction into that extended genetic material is what the elect are becoming. They are becoming almond. The almond are ahead. We represent, us getting into alignment to follow and become them, because it's in our genetic material as the projections of almond to become them. But it's not in the mass majority of the so-called black race. They don't have it. And them people you mentioned, like Phil Valentine, all them other people, Pharaoh, they don't have it either. They're not of almond.
Oh, that's serious. It's serious. Oh, I'm like heartbroken. This is not easy for me because I come from the school. I come from, the teachings and everything. And this is like really hard. Could you, you did a video on the woman, but the power of the womb and the woman and who we are, you did do that video. You said that God, that the black woman is God. You said that in one video, right?
No.
Remember? Yes, you did.
Well, if I use that terminology back then, that was then. This is next. We're not, like I said, I used the word God back then, and now if you notice, I don't use it anymore. Because again, we evolved out of that word God, just like we evolved out of the word devil, and all this black woman is God, and all this other nonsense. That's that conscious community garbage.
Okay, yes, you did. Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'll see you in class. All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
See, again, this is what I was talking about. We can't have no emotional attachments to a bunch of people, places, and possessions. We can't have that. I don't care who your favorite person is. I don't care if it's Dr. Phil Valentine, Bonnie, any of these people, Young Pharaoh. I don't know these people. Like I said, there's no respect of persons here, man. It's all about honor. It's all about honor. That's all you hear come out of my mouth. There ain't no respect for me if I'm not putting Armin's name out, if I'm not building a community in the name of Armin. It's not being built in the name of Neva Nenkari. This community is being built in the name of Armin. I'm just a laborer. And like I say, ain't no respect to person. I don't care about who your favorite conscious teacher is. No disrespect to you, sister, but like I said, them people don't matter, man. They don't matter in the bigger picture. They don't matter. They're not part of this extension. They're not part of this omnipresent, omnipotent, omnipotent. They're not part of it. You understand? These people are going to fade from the scene because realistically, they never really were here. They're nothing but a bunch of optical and obstacle illusions. They're nothing but a bunch of optical and obstacle illusions, meaning physical and visual illusions. Because again, you got the real projections, and then you got the cast off, so you got the watered down clone version. So again, a lot of these guys who came after Dr. York, or the guys who came around that time, a lot of these guys are a bunch of cast offs and clones, man. Because ultimately, the bigger picture is supposed to be to build community. That's not these people's mindset. If that's not their mindset and they're not building in the name of Armin, then forget these people, man. They're of the black race, and they'll fade away. That's what it is. It ain't about, I like this one, I like that one. This is my favorite person. Again, it's no respect to persons, man. It ain't about that. That's emotional attachment to people, place, and possession. We're not emotionally attached to nothing. No people, no place, no possession. Sorry, it's too much to handle, but it is what it is. We're back. I'm gonna try something and take this call. 111. 111. Nothing from 111. All right. Am I coming in clear? I'd like to know if I'm coming in clear. My people, let me know if I'm coming in clear. So, as we're moving forward, and, a lot of people are going to think that this call to community is, I'll say they won't understand it, this call for community. Finally we'll be able to project and manifest something that black people in their mind frame and their possessive mind frame were not able to manifest and project themselves. We are going to be able to manifest and project that as the bright race. We are going to have to come together collectively as people to make this evolutionary trek and this jump. This is what we're going to have to do. And again, we must watch the optical and obstacle illusions that are in our way. The illusions of grandeur that a lot of these so-called black leaders have, and black people have themselves, that they're doing better, that they woke and that they're conscious, and all these things that really don't matter in the bigger scheme of things. I told you the bigger scheme of things is community, and the community that will restore law and order after the order of Amen. That is the only thing that's going to matter. That is the only thing that is seen as viable. Everything else does not matter. Everything else is useless. Everything else does not matter. Everything else is useless. All right? And until we figure this out, until we stop feeding energy into these people, these so-called black people with these illusions of grandeur and these ideas of, being woke and being conscious and being, a so-called black community, a so-called conscious community, so-called hip-hop community, until we stop feeding into or allowing ourselves to feed into this illusion of grandeur of this false community that black people talk about but cannot manifest, cannot project, because, again, the inability to project and manifest a real community is because they are not in alignment with the Most High, with the Creator, with Amen. They're not part of the extension, which is why they're not able to manifest their real community. They can talk about it. They can give up these false illusions of community. They can talk about, we the conscious community, we the black community, we this community, we that community. There's no such thing as any conscious community. There's no such thing as any black community. There's no such thing as any hip-hop community. These are all optical and obstacle illusions to keep us trapped in a place, making us think that we're actually doing something and not seeing how important it is for us to evolve into that race of people. The ancestors, all this other nonsense, like I said, all these people are doing nothing but blowing smoke will get us nowhere. That's all it is. That's all it is. We can't afford that in this stage of the game. We can't afford this because it's not a game. We can't afford this. We can't afford this mindset. We can't afford this mentality. We can't afford this illusion. Right? We can't afford it. What we need, what we continuously and constantly need, is this power of Amen. That's what we need. This is what we're going to need to continue forward, to guide us forward, to continue us into this next phase and this next stage of evolution as the bright race, as the illuminated ones, to take our place, to receive our power on earth, as it was spoken of in the Revelation, and as it is now becoming a reality through Mentellect. It is becoming a reality through Mentellect, and like I said, for those of our people who can't see it, like I said, see you. For those of our people who can't see it, we don't see you. I tell you all before, the people that can't see the bigger picture, stop seeing them. The people that can't see the big picture, stop seeing them. Don't let them put doubt in your head about our future. Do not let them put doubt in your head about the next. Because that's what they're here to do. I don't care if it's family, I don't care if it's friends, I don't care if it's people of your, whatever. They're here to put doubt in your mind. And in them putting doubt in your mind, they offer nothing in place of that. Because their only hope, their only desire is to serve the beast and to wait on him for the next chapter. And that chapter will never come. Looking out for himself. He is trying to raise himself, extend himself. And again, he is not supposed to be concerned with us in our evolution. He is not supposed to be concerned with us in our evolution, and we're not supposed to be concerned with him and his revolutions. We made ourselves part and parcel and became partners with these people, and we must break our partnerships. We must break our partnership. We must break our connection with the false images, with the false mentality, and its optical and obstacle illusions. We must break our connection with limitation. We must break our connection with blackness, darkness. We must break our connection with it and extend it into a brighter and illuminated state. We must do this. And we must allow people to pass us, or should I say, we must allow ourselves to pass them by. We must allow ourselves to pass them by, because if we do have this, and we do, if you say you have this, or this message resonates with you, and you see the bigger picture that's being laid out, then it is your duty. It is your duty. Come into this covenant and leave all the things of these people behind. Disconnect from these people. Disconnect from this 1, 2, 3-dimensional world, and come into that fourth state. Come in as that people who are projecting into a manifestation of Amen. And like I said, we're not looking for the so-called black race to understand. We're not looking for them to agree. We're not looking for the so-called white race to understand or agree. We're not looking for mankind to understand or agree. We're simply looking for them to get out of our way. And the only way to get them out of our way is for you to sidestep them. Sidestep their opinions, their ridicule, their slander, and all these things that they do in order to be obstacles in our way. We must sidestep all of this. Walk around it. Walk over it. Step over it. This is what we must do. And it's going to be a hard journey and a hard path for many who don't want to let go of the hand of the beast. It's going to be a hard journey. It's going to be a hard path, because many don't want to let go of the hand of the beast. Many, like I said, this is what keeps black people being black, because they don't want to let go of the hand of the beast. They don't want to let go of the hand of the beast. They don't want to free themselves. They don't want to free themselves, mind, body, and soul. Because in their mind, body, and soul, that's not a reality. And they are quickly becoming spirits, vessels of demonic energy, vessels of demonic possession. They're quickly becoming spirits. Spirit energy, right? Open vessels for spiritual possession. And we must move away from these people. We must sever our tie with them, because they are perishing right in front of us. They're perishing right in front of us. They're melting away right in front of us if we pay attention. We must be mindful not to get caught up with these people. We must be mindful not to get caught up with these people. We must be mindful not to get caught up in the back and forth or the connection with these people. We must be mindful, continuously and constantly mindful. Amen has given us the foresight to see. If you are of the elect, we were given the foresight to see. We were given the foresight to see and hear and listen. Right? We were given the foresight to see, to hear, to listen, and to continue forward. Continue on. This is our greatest strength. This is our greatest power. This is our greatest state of existence and being. And we will continue in this forever. Onward to the fourth dimension. Onward, collectively. This is our goal. This is our journey. And this is what we came here to do ultimately. This is what we came here to do ultimately. Amen has charged us with this power to move forward, mind, body, and soul. Amen has charged us with this power to move forward, mind, body, and soul. And we must answer the call. We must answer the call in the name of Amen, by the power of Amen. We must answer the call in the name of Amen, by the power of Amen. We must answer the call in the name of Amen, by the power of Amen. We must answer the call in the name of Amen, by the power of Amen, constantly. continuously. Let me answer these questions. Why will the black race never understand or become the bright ones? Because they are trapped in perpetual slavery. They are trapped in the perpetual desire for equality and the illusion of grandeur that they have made it. And they have made it to their limitation. They have made it unto their limitation. They have not, and they will not exceed their limitation. They are where they're supposed to be. They have hit that limitation mark. But we must move on. Who are the bright ones? The bright ones are the true illuminated ones, the true Illuminati, the ones who are the projections of Amen, the solar beings, us, the projection of Amen being raised in this day and time. And we will have that vision that is 10,000 times brighter than the sun, that future vision. Does emotion have to do with the black people becoming bright, not becoming bright? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Their desire, their fear, their jealousy, their envy, their cowardliness, all these things, their anger, all these things, their sorrow, and, which stands in the way of them moving forward, prevents them from becoming a bright race. It is an emotional thing. It is an emotional connection that people place in possession. Can the bright ones control the next world? Yes, we can. Through logic, through rationale, and through higher mental capabilities, we will control the next world. What is a bright one? A bright one is the illuminated one, of course, directly projected from Amen, futuristically, continuously outer dimensional, by a solar projection. As I said on Sunday, join me at the Restoration Plaza. I'll be there, 1368 Fulton Street, from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. We'll be on the first floor, the Republic of Intellect Superman Superwoman Project. And I will be in California September 9th. I'm going to give further updates on the location. That conference is also free as part of our Supreme Mind Tour. And I will be in the UK at the end of September, the end of September, in London, speaking to the Mentalians out there. And that's it. We're going to close this out in the name of Amen, by the power of Amen. And Amen we trust, and Amen we think, and in Amen we continue forward forever. Hail Amen, hail the Mentalians. I am the intellectual Nuben Mentares. This has been Mentellect Radio. What are we going to close out with? I want to close out with something nice. Something that I haven't heard in a while.
Rising out the black race to the bright race, out the black race to the bright race. It's the Republic of Intellect, black race to the bright race. If it's hail Amen, then it's hail us. They tried everything just to spell us. Fed us religion, gave us fake gods. Through all of that, we beat the odds. Now we coming together under one flag. Colors red, gold, and blue. Superman, Superwoman, that's me and you. The infinite capabilities that we can do. We the Republic of Intellect.